It's only after that you see what happened to Jesus do you realize, oh, all that stuff in the Old Testament now makes sense.
What is your opinion on the rapture? Because I know there's a bunch of stuff in the Bible that talks about it, and a bunch of people have different opinions about, like, the pre-tribulation and stuff. Like, what's your take on it?
Excellent question. I'm not on the planning committee. I'm on the welcoming committee.
Yeah.
All right? So there are people that I know who are way smarter than me, and they know the original languages, and they come to different conclusions on the end times. We all agree that Christ is coming back. When is he coming back? How is he coming back? Theologians disagree over that. I have my opinions, but I don't hold them firmly because there are different views on it from very reputable people that are smarter than me, okay? I will say this, though. I think it's meant to be ambiguous to a certain extent. Why? Well, let's look at the first coming. If you look at, I think it's 1 Corinthians 2. I think it's 1 Corinthians 2. Paul says something like this, that the coming of Jesus was veiled in the Old Testament because if the powers and principalities knew who he was, they never would have crucified the Lord of glory. In other words, if Satan really knew that Jesus was the Savior, he never would have done what Jesus wanted him to do, and that was instigate the killing of Jesus, because by the killing of Jesus, Satan lost. Because now people can be reconciled to God. It's only after that you see what happened to Jesus do you realize, oh, all that stuff in the Old Testament now makes sense. Now I see how Micah 5:2 fits into the Messiah. Now I see how Isaiah 53 and Daniel 9 and other passages in the Old Testament fit together. Why? Because you have the box top of the New Testament. The New Testament is the box top to Old Testament prophecy. Like when you're putting a puzzle together, you get the box top, you can see how the pieces fit together. The New Testament gives you that box top. You don't have the box top when you're living in Old Testament times. You're going, I know this has something to do with the Messiah, but what? Now, fast forward to where we are now. Let's suppose God made it crystal clear that he was going to come in 2042. What would that do to our behavior now? We'd be going, I got plenty of time. I got 18 years, right? About 17 years and a half, I'll start thinking about this, right? I think he's leaving it a little bit ambiguous and uncertain for a reason. In fact, when it comes to eschatology, end times, what Jesus does tell us, nobody knows the time or the season, the day or the hour. I'm going to come like a thief in the night. He could come tonight or 10,000 years from now. The point is, always be ready.